You should vote it right now. Please remain standing to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by our senior choir singing the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony for the Attleboro High School class of 2024. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to welcome Mayor Kathleen DeSimone, school committee members Robert Geddes, chairperson, Scott Dominici, Jim Storrs, Lynn Porto, Shannon Johnson, Chris Frappier, Aaron Bennett, Diane Sawyer. City Council members, Jay Delicio, Michael D'Angelo, Lori Sawyer. Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Sawyer. Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Lori Regan. Director of Special Education and Student Services, Yvonne Medeiros. Business Manager, Mr. Mark Furtado. Attleboro High School Administration and senior class staff. Associate Principal, Kevin Gorman. Associate Principal, Doug Heel. Attleboro Virtual Academy Principal, Joe Connor. Career and Technical Education Director, Jeremy Gay. Network Program Director, Roberta Willemeyer. Attleboro High School Senior Class Advisors, Jordan Shepherdson and Jillian Fitzgerald. And our Attleboro High School faculty. Attleboro Public School District Building Administrators and faculty, welcome to you. Families and friends of the class of 2024, I welcome you. And yes, finally, the graduates of Attleboro High School 2024, welcome. Class of 2024, you are an exceptional group of individuals. This isn't the first time I've said this, and I hope it's something that you remember hearing. Last year's senior class of 2023 had the sole recognition of being the very first class to graduate from our beautiful new building. But you all, class of 2024, set the real standard and norms for how we should live within our new Attleboro High School walls. You have provided our school with an inner culture of community and togetherness. You continually provided a sense of partnership with each other, our staff, and the city of Attleboro. Your collaboration and teamwork were seen every day. Your friendships and respect for each other lived within our hallways and classrooms. You all offered pieces of yourselves to make your class better as a whole, but still were able to shine as individuals. These accomplishments weren't by chance. They occurred because of who you are. As a class, you have an intuitive way of knowing what each other needs and offering support when challenges arise. You are also there to celebrate successes and achievements when they occur. and there have been many. I've been impressed by how you set the example for our younger students. You model what school should look like, but you also take the time to teach each other why we do the things we do. This extends beyond classrooms. I've seen it in sports, clubs, CTE programs, advisories, and many of the partnerships that we have built at Attleboro High School. In life, these special traits that I've listed are traits that we may see in groups that spend much time together and have strong connections. These characteristics are often seen within families. You have become a group that trusts and respects others around you. You have become like a family. You have developed a new norm at Attleboro High School and have created a culture in our school community for our upcoming students to follow. You have led by example of what respect, kindness, collaboration, and loyalty mean. I've seen this again and again over the past 2 years with you. Your interactions with all students of all ages and all backgrounds, students with styles and interests different than yours, students who you have much in common with, and students that you have very little in common with. Your ability to embrace humans for who they are and see what each other brings with them is something you should all be proud of and something you should carry with you as you move on from Attleboro High School. Although many messages will be shared tonight, I hope you all remember the feelings you have at this exact moment. Feelings of excitement, joy, accomplishment, and there's some loyalty and love in there as well. Feelings and thoughts matter. They are connections to who you are. You are a class that feels big and thinks things through. You are reflective and have shown that you can grow from your mistakes. You have also shown that you are able to build upon successes and still challenge yourself to improve and to grow when failure does occur. These aren't always easy skills to conquer, but class of 2024, you're doing it. It's been said that our decision-making is based on feelings that only last for 2 seconds. That can be the difference between a great decision or a poor decision. 2 seconds, that's it. Our goal at Attleboro High School has always been to provide you enough knowledge, encouragement, and confidence in yourself to make important decisions when those 2 seconds come into play. I believe in you all. I have seen good decision-making with learning, with communication, with relationships, how you treat each other, and how you choose to build a successful community around yourselves. Your background and foundation of how to make important decisions comes with practice, comes with living with both good choices and poor choices. I am proud how you have developed your 2-second ability here at Attleboro High School. Use your 2-second skills moving forward. Make good choices. Have confidence in yourself. When you are unsure, ask questions when needed, and listen carefully when you have an opportunity to learn. You all have what it takes to make a difference with your 2-second decisions in your journey ahead. Use those 2-second determinations to make the world a better place. I would now like to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2024, Emma Morrison.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. It is an absolute honor to be one of the first to say to all of you, congratulations. Each and every member of the Attleboro High School graduating class of 2024 has accomplished something special, and I can't even begin to express how proud I am of us all. On behalf of this wonderful class, I'd also like to thank every person who has helped us work towards this momentous occasion. Without your support, we certainly would not be where we are today, and we will carry your impact with us always. Today marks the start of a new chapter of our lives. It's a day we've been picturing for ages, the day we break free of childhood and take the first definitive step into adulthood. We're finally able to write our own stories. As we reflect, we find that the high school experience is nothing but a colorful blur. It's cliche, but time truly does move too fast, and what we're left with is the feeling of having experienced something without boundaries. Our time in high school doesn't feel like the high school movies we love. There's no clear-cut beginnings, no rolling credits, no montages set to decade-defining music. It's hard to tell your own story, but we can start with the stories we know. When we were children, the stories of others shaped our ideas of what the high school experience would be like. Sitting in the Augut Children's Room of our beloved public library, watching our favorite Disney Channel movies, or hearing the nostalgic stories our families told us of when they were young and untethered, we all wondered who we would become as teenagers. We might have pictured sky blue convertibles driving up to sprawling high schools, or stepping out into the Friday night lights, triumphant music playing as we score the winning touchdown in slow motion. Our childhood favorites were certainly cheesy, unoriginal, and full of unrealistic tropes, but they taught us the importance of creating memories that last. Our journey to these bright blue caps and gowns has not been typical, nor has it been easy. Locked away from the rest of the chaotic world, our story starts with the uncertainty of high school in our homes. As underclassmen, we started to write our screenplays. In the setting of the classic and charming old building, we calculated the sum of A squared and B squared, learned how a small conflict would blossom into a world war, and learned the introductory skills in our CTEs. We met our cast of characters, built the foundations of friendships that would last us a lifetime. Saying goodbye to mismatched halls, we navigated the new building with apprehension and wonder. It was here that we would accomplish the incredible things that define us. We learned trigonometric identities, delved deep into complex historical analysis, and completed technical projects we couldn't have imagined we were capable of. We collaborated, had passionate discussions, and stood to deliver dreaded presentations. We wrote the resolution to our stories, shaped the futures we had dreamed of, created shapes in the fog, and forged our own paths. As we now look back at our story, it may all be a blur, but we find clarity in the classic moments of our childhood favorites. The movies weren't exactly accurate, but we can find the parallels. When we were young, we watched our favorite teenage characters magically get into college and discover their destinies with ease, whereas we, in our guidance counselors' offices, discussed the differences between colleges, military branches, and trades, while we took unsure steps, armed with blind hope. Rather than letting the credits roll after our proms, we understood that it wasn't the end. We pulled our heels out of the muddy ground at Capron Park and kept walking forward. Unlike the movies, many of these milestones aren't life-changing, nor are they perfect, but they carry with them a certain brand of euphoria that is so high school, the colorful, unbridled happiness of the TV screen. It is, without a doubt, that we will go on to greatness. Our educational experiences at this school have been engaging, challenging, and inspiring. We are prepared to face the road ahead. But beyond helping us learn, this community has helped us grow into the kind, bright individuals we dreamed we would become. Years in the future, we'll remember the moments that have made the high school experience uniquely ours. We'll remember the difficulty of navigating one-way hallways on our first day of freshman year. We'll remember the streets of Attleboro we learned to drive on, and embarrassingly, all the curbs we ran over. We'll remember all the times we asked each other, is today odd or even over Dunkin' sweet iced coffees? For the rest of our lives, we will carry our AHS memories in our back pockets, edited into the perfect summer blockbuster that we rewatch on rainy days. Sure, we're lacking the cliched tropes of coordinated dances and hour-long locker breaks, but the skills that we've mastered in the absolute joy that we've experienced these past 4 years will stay with us as we write the rest of our stories. Congratulations again, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, Emma, for those inspiring words. I would now like to introduce Mayor Kathleen DeSimone to give greetings from the City of Attleboro.
Good evening, everybody. But I don't think good is enough. I think it's a great evening. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, you are here and looking fine. You've got this gorgeous building behind you, and you are surrounded by love and support and joy. I think that's great. So great evening, everybody. Welcome, and thank you, Principal Campbell and Attleboro High School, for inviting me to participate in this amazing class of 2024 commencement ceremony. Thank you, too, to all of the great school teachers who inspired, encouraged, and supported these students in their educational journeys. And many, many, many thanks to the parents, grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, and friends who are each teachers in their own way, who loved and believed in each of these students every step of the way. To the graduates here tonight, please know first that as a fellow Attleboro resident, parent, citizen, and the mayor, I am humbled, grateful, and proud of each and every one of you. I applaud all of you for your hard work and your commitment to education and personal growth. I know the road may have been challenging at times, but whatever path you took inevitably led you here to now. And I know you didn't come this far just to come this far. Graduates, as you look around and bask in the love, joy, and pride that surround you here tonight, please never forget the incredible investment that your family, friends, teachers, and the community have made in you and your future. And I hope in your lives you invest in others as we have invested in each of you. As I was preparing my comments for this evening, I found myself reflecting on what it means to graduate. And I realized that I prefer to think of graduating not only in the academic sense of completing a course of study, but also in terms of measurement, calibration, and making small adjustments as needed in a given situation. And in that sense, my friends, today's ceremony marks neither an end or a beginning. Rather, it is a momentary acknowledgement and celebration of the many noticeable and meaningful changes that you have made towards becoming who you are and who you will be. And for that reason and more, I hope you graduate many, many, many times in your life. So to all of you sitting out there in the caps and the gowns and graduating here tonight and beyond, may you always be brave, be brilliant, be you, and go blue. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Mayor DeSimone. At this time, I would like to invite the Superintendent of Attleboro Public Schools, Mr. David Sawyer, to the lectern.
Good evening. Soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2024, I have one final request to make of you before you cross this dais on the way to your burgeoning adulthood. As you leave here today, it is my hope that you will not soon forget the reason why you were made to be here in the first place. Ah, but what exactly was that? Is it immediately obvious to any of us assembled here today? While some might have an individual answer to this question, I don't think we collectively make the case for public education either as often or as clearly as we should. But whatever your personal response might be, it isn't likely because you believe that what was on the test really turned out to be important. Your average middle schooler is on to us. This simply isn't true. But even if we sometimes lose sight of our reason, I am here to argue that there is a good one. And if we can find it rather than focusing on the many special moments that left the greatest impressions, we instead consider the routine and mundane, a universal experience shared by all, regardless of the school, teacher, or grade. The thing you were asked to do every morning of every day of school for all 13 years. Yes, I am referring to the Pledge of Allegiance. And if you aren't quite sure if I'm serious, let me assure you of my sincerity. The pledge provides as strong a rationale as any for why we dedicate so much to public education, as it defines our democratic ideal in its last 6 words, with liberty and justice for all. Putting aside the irony of a compulsory oath in a free society, or any of the other familiar criticisms that are levied against it, we can consider the pledge as a historical artifact. While it smacks of the mid-20th century fears that inspired the laws that require its recital to this day, its origins trace to sentiments prevalent after the Civil War, as Americans reflected on the profound sacrifices just made to resolve the then still fresh conflict. Given an alarming increase these days in talk of another civil war, perhaps we should ponder the editorial decision to dedicate one of the scant 31 words to describe our nation as indivisible. In attempting to articulate what exactly had been saved by preserving the Union, the pledge reaches back, much as Abraham Lincoln had in his own rhetoric justifying the war, to the lofty aims of our founding fathers who established this great republic. In fact, it was the second president of these United States, John Adams, who earlier in 1780 enshrined a right to education in the Massachusetts Constitution, which arguably remains the oldest written constitution in continuous effect in the world. Spreading the opportunities and advantages of education among the people, according to Adams, is necessary for the preservation of their rights and liberties. The founders of this nation were keen to protect what they had fought so dearly to establish. This American experiment, an imperfect but noble attempt to return sovereignty to the people themselves, something we continue to refine in an earnest attempt to hopefully someday achieve. And education was recognized as a critical element in this process, especially because from the start, anti-democratic influences sought to undermine the task. Adams' rights and liberties and the pledge's liberty and justice are one and the same. The essence of the American project is freedom. Freedom to be who we are, freedom to live as we see fit. And we safeguard this freedom by creating fair conditions for all. Justice requires defending the rights of others, especially those with whom we disagree. What can be refused from one can be denied to any. Sinisterly, some prey on our fears in order to weaken our commitment to this strenuous duty. The history of authoritarianism, the antithesis to liberty, always begins with a gentle erosion of the rights of others. The would-be autocrat seeks to persuade us that others exercising their freedoms in ways that do not conform to our own personal convictions are a greater danger than the absence of freedom itself. This pernicious threat has been with us from the start. Ben Franklin warned us of this imprudent bargain when he wrote, "Those who would give up liberty to purchase a little safety deserve neither." In 2024, dark forces at the extremes of the political divide that now engulfs us all both offer a similar bargain. Trade your freedom so that we can protect you from the zealous excesses of those who upset you. But public education is our best defense against this cynical strategy. We, here together, as equals before the law, in our common pursuit of truth through education, share this community space entrusted to this public institution. And we know that even as we have different backgrounds, different passions, different sensibilities, and different dreams, we can, by and large, collaborate for our mutual benefit. Therefore, we, the stalwart middle, caught between hostile factions, we understand the need not only to resist the siren song of simple solutions, but to embrace life's frustrating complexities, methodically laid bare by our education, by rallying to uphold the very freedoms on which this entire society is built. So, class of 2024, as your secondary education concludes here today, pursue the next chapter of your lives in whatever manner suits you. But in navigating the vexing intricacies of civic life in the 21st century, remember the hopes of our forebears and do your part to forge a better tomorrow, one with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Superintendent Sawyer. I would now like our Student Council President, Morgan Tolliver, to bring up the time key. Morgan Tolliver, Student Council President, will present the time key to President Kylie Vieira of the incoming senior class of 2025. This key signifies the passing of time and continuation of Attleboro High School traditions. Thank you, Morgan and Kylie. It is now my pleasure to present the Metcalf Awards. The Helen W. Metcalf Prize of $5 was instituted in June 1919 and is presented at graduation exercises at Attleboro High School each year since then to the members of the graduating class having the highest average for their work in different areas. It is in the memory of a former English teacher at Attleboro High, Miss Helen W. Metcalf, who was one of the founders of the Pierian Club. In appreciation of this remembrance of his sister, Louis Metcalf set aside a trust fund to provide for awards. We now present the Metcalf Awards to the class of 2024. We have moved from $5 in 1919 to the awards that range from $750 to $1,000. The first award for academic excellence goes to Shashank Shridhar. The award for English goes to Jocelyn Connors. The award in mathematics goes to Natalie Brochek. The award in science goes to Jessica Harrington. The award for social studies goes to Emma Morrison. And the last Metcalf Award for this year is an award in world language and goes to Isha Mavi. It is now with great pleasure that I invite this year's valedictorian, Jocelyn Connors, to the stage for her valedictorian address.
I would like to congratulate all of you today. Students, families, teachers, for coming upon yet another one of life's crossroads. In the midst of well-deserved excitement, this great desire to move forward, may we simply stop and reflect before continuing onwards. There are many paths ahead now, and here we stand at the edge of possibility, waiting to select a direction in hopes of fulfillment in our latter endeavors. With proud and sometimes weary footsteps, we approach a threshold, the junction between our past and futures. I call upon you to continue forth with courage. Follow the road less taken, regardless of how bumpy such a trek may turn out to be. Human life, we know, can sometimes be one with a bit of turbulence. At this point, we cannot deny that the past few years have turned our lives upside down, back up again, and occasionally shaken every last bit of familiarity out in more ways than one. Still, I, like many of you, couldn't confidently wish it to be otherwise. We know that in those moments, we must confront 1,000 turns taken, bounding towards a finish line we aren't quite sure of just yet. However, we emerge and strive to survive. I know many of us stand today, grasping for a compass after many years of gnarled roots catching and twisting our ankles. Yet we all, each in our own unique routes, collectively found our way here. The class of 2024 is unique in this light. Not that we've struggled, but that we've taken on a myriad of obstacles and persisted, choosing not to go forth alone. We are a resilient group that has honestly survived both the best and worst of the past 4 years, making it out of the thick of life's woods to tell one epic of a tale. We began in the midst of the pandemic, confused as the outbreak of COVID-19 challenged our ability to connect with each other. We became forced to reconcile with a picture of an isolated community, to rebuild from the ashes of an ever-changing world we once felt so safe within. Still, we were trapped behind a screen, masked, fearing simple contact with another. Despite these obstacles and the broader societal questions they posed, we took such challenges as a means to be revolutionary. We learned how to fight for the rights of another as if they were our own, with a newfound appreciation for every moment spent together in the sun. So as we leave here today with that spirit fostered in this one building placed behind us, I would like to acknowledge such endeavors and wish upon us similar surmountable challenges in what lies ahead. We are a generation of change, of empathy, advocacy, patience, and community. We've come to understand that the voice of one may yield great power, but that voice is better magnified by those that uplift it. But that spirit has come from tangible life experiences that have taught us to realize not every journey is bound to be so picturesque. And in that, I wish you struggle. I wish you survival. And above all, I wish you hope. Our excellency does not come from standing above hardship and looking down upon it as if it were our enemy. We must look it in the eyes and accept all that is to come. Only then do we become excellent, learn, and embrace ourselves in full. We've all had things seem to jump in our way, and if we claim otherwise, that'd be a very sorry life not fully lived. Each and every one of us has traversed our fair share of tripping hazards on this path of life. And having that mutual stumble, we are far from alone. Every misstep has been and will continue to be part of our road to success. Meek or courageous in the journey, we can be comforted by the notion that despite our varied approach, we all navigate similarly imperfect paths. When we try to act as if we are immune to failure, we separate ourselves from the most beautifully fundamental aspect of our humanity, perseverance. To be human is to perhaps be uncertain of the exact direction, but to still go forth in hope and ease the journey for those that follow in our footsteps. I challenge you to make the most of what is to come. So in the words of Henry David Thoreau, let us not be concerned with what lies behind us and what lies ahead of us, as along our trek they are tiny matters compared to what lives within us. Continue to take advantage of any adversity you may face as it comes. Be guided by that hopeful voice within and follow it. Continue to move forward and forge your own path, not caring if it lapses or takes years to feel quite right. Be gracious and patient as you travel. Don't race through the adventure. Savor every second. Continue whether it be foreign or familiar. Kick up the muck, make mistakes. Allow yourself to tumble and fall into each other's embrace. Be curious and wander. In doing so, you level the ground beneath you so others can see it's possible to make it through. Keep going, no matter where it leads you. Step beyond what you know. Don't stop, don't look back, don't hide. So, class of 2024, I come here today to remind you that on your quest to find and become you, you're allowed to get lost and to learn to find your way. You can be afraid, but remember you are limitless and supported. Life doesn't have to be an independent journey, and each decision from this point on will continue to guide you towards your destination. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn, for the thoughtful reflection and summary of the time the class of 2024 has had here at Attleboro High School. It is now time to announce our graduates. I would like to ask... It's your time. I would now like to ask our Associate Principal, Kevin Gorman, to come to the lectern to begin our presentation. I would also like to ask School Committee member Scott Dominici to please come up and present the first diplomas.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. It is my privilege to announce our class officers and honors diploma recipients. Morgan Kinsley Tolliver. Connor Joseph Coleman. Mackenzie Faith Grenier. Natalie Anita Brochek. Arna Sodani. Jocelyn Rose Connors. Emma Lily Morrison. Kieran Razia Akhtar. Mary Pamela Anike. Megan Skylar Barrows. Presley Rose Biller. Jacob Aaron Blazik. Meredith Grace Bosch. Sabrina Allison Boylan. Maggie Marie Branson Lynch. Timothy Jonathan Brousseau. Annabelle Dorothy Calderwood. Mackenzie Julia Cooper. Jeremy James Daniel. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. If you could please step aside for one diploma. Mr. Storrs, if you could please join us. Lily Shannon Danko. Thank you, Mr. Storrs. Tyler Star De Silva. Madison Tracy DeFlimenes. Liam George Doucette. Adahi Esquivel. Megan Elizabeth Field. Madison Elizabeth Fiscaldo. Luke Andrew Hagopian. Jessica Marie Harrington. Ryan Jared Hill. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. If you could please step aside for one diploma. Ms. Porto, if you could please join us. Nupur Shimraksha Iyengar. Thank you, Ms. Porto. Kyra Ashley Johnson. Sean Adam Kiswali. Shaylin Michelle Luthi. Isha Singh Mavi. Lindsay Gail Ryan Sandberg McCoy. Emerson May McLaughlin. Jennifer Lindsay Morin. Sabrina Catherine Netter. Evan Chase Norman. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. If you could please step aside for one diploma. Mr. Parent, former school committee member, if you could please join us. Victoria Vegas Parent. Paige Jean Parento. Caleb Holmes Plass. Mylese Rousselou. Ava Nicole Roy. Alicia Dawn Shiner. Shashank Subramania Shradar. Alexander Joseph Vecchioli. Adam Martin Wolf. Caroline Elizabeth Wright. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. I would now like to invite School Committee Chairperson Robert Geddes to the dais and House 1 Assistant Principal Robin Bianchetto to the lectern to read the names of House 1 diploma recipients.
Victor Aguirre Gonzalez. Sarah Assad Ayad. William Frederick Badger III. Abigail Denise Betts. Cassidy Maria Blaze. Molly Elizabeth Brewer. Matthew Thomas Brewster. Thank you, Chairman Geddes. If you could please step aside for one diploma. I would like to now invite former school committee member Juliet Texera to the dais. Caitlin Annabelle Bryan. Thank you, Ms. Texera. Chairman Geddes, if you would mind continuing with handing out of the diplomas. Mackenzie Anita Briggs. Abigail Burns. Riley Lynn Camacho. Kiana Gabrielle Cowett. Rodrigo Castro Villaseñor. Josue Daniel Cervantes. Isabel Latricia Challenger. Charlotte Grace Chandler. She was not able to attend this evening. Abigail Lee Churchill. Alexis Eleanor Sincata. Brandon Rafael Cordero. Michaela Rain Crisafulli. Elwood Crosby. Daniel Mwanguzi Damba. Jeremiah Donald Desgrange. Thank you, Chairman Geddes. If you could please step aside for two diplomas, I would now like to invite Mayor DeSimone to the dais. Logan James DeSimone. Thank you, Mayor DeSimone. I would now like to invite Municipal Council President Jay Delisio to the dais. Ryan James Delisio. Thank you, Mr. Delisio. Kelly Dong. Aiden Ryan Donnelly, I apologize. Sorry. Thank you, Chairman Geddes. If you could step aside for one diploma, please. Mr. Dominici, please rejoin us on the dais. Sydney Rose Dorval. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. Chairman Geddes, if you would, please return. Hosea David DeVerno. Luz Maria Echevarria. Jeremiah Jumor Edward. Chloe Elizabeth Araz. Jacqueline Samantha Esteban. Gerald Usher Etienne. Nyla Sabrina Lola Eweka. Hunter Thomas Fallon. Michael Timothy Gervais Farrell. Presley Olivia Floyd. Jacqueline Vanessa Garcia. Raul Arnaldo Garcia Crespin. Martin Joel Hernandez. Casey Howe. Lily Ray Infante. Alexa Marie LaCroix. Montana Paige Lewicki. Christopher Daniel Lopez Portillo. Candida Stephanie Martinez Menjivar. Michael Anthony McBride. Jack Anthony McCormack. Brody Stephen McKenna. Thank you, Mr. Geddes. I would now like to invite Ms. Shannon Johnson to the dais. Shannon Miller McKenzie. Charlotte Miller McKenzie. Juan Pablo Patino Agudelo. Saika Ava Paul Rock. Joshua David Pease. Asia Maria Bryn Pedro. Ariana Elizabeth Jebrim Pereira. Jesus Miguel Pizarro de Jesus. Christopher Portillo Cruz. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. If you could step aside for one diploma, please. Mr. Dominici, please rejoin the dais. Awesome. Cadence Ann Preston. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. Ms. Johnson, if you would continue to hand out diplomas. Paige Marie Qualia. Julia Kayleen Arujo Ribeiro. Madison Rose Richard. David Adam Riendo. Jasmine Esmeralda Ruano. Connor John Ruzicki. Liam James Saltmarsh. Salimata Sambu. Rayan Shabir Sameha. Joseph Michael Scaltrito. Mitchell Riley Sherry. Rachel Joan Sherry. Natalia Shpala. Demetrius James Themistoklios. Kathleen Michelle Tikas. Mally Sonita Tom. Mason Neil Tucker. Cody Michael Turner. Tess Catherine Turner. Darwin Ovidio Vargas Rodriguez. Courtney Elizabeth Villano. Amber Lee Vivenzio. Sai Vu. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. I would now like to ask Mr. Dominici to rejoin us on the dais for one diploma. Emily Grace Weathers. Congratulations, House 1 graduates. So proud of you. I would now like to invite House 2 Assistant Principal, Mr. Brian Hodges.
Abdulmajid Ayaz Abdulmajid. Fiona Faith Abraham. Olivia Catherine Anise.
I'm going to thank Ms. Johnson and get Ms. Porto up on the stage.
Right now?
Yep.
I'd like to thank Ms. Johnson. If I could ask Ms. Porto to come on the stage. Jasmine Dos Santos Arujo. David Estuardo Barrios Mariquin. Dawn Elizabeth Budd. Romeo Sincere Burgess. Peter Loring Carney. Zoe Silva Carrender. Jose Castro IV. Benjamin Raymond Connors. Ryan Michael Connors. Joshua Corellis. Maxwell Grant Crawford. Chase Jacob Davenport. Emily Marie Davignon. Emily Rose Dean. Brandon Ariel Espinoza. Jose Silbino Fajardo. Tyson Donovan Forte. Tyler Edward Fox. Amanda Maria Oliveira Freitas. Lucas Valentine Frolio. Ana Simone Safwan Gatas. Jenna Lee Golding. Kayla Shea Goldrick. Tyler Evan Graney. Kurt Tamio Greening. Gabriel George Hernandez. Dane Michael Holsky. Julian Aaron Horton. Trevor Thomas Hoyt. John Price Huntington. Agner Alberto Emilio de Oliveira. Stanley Jude Jean-Baptiste. Malachi Jude Jefferson. Ava Danielle Johnson. Kanan Sambath Kim. Natalia Aneta Kotsnitz. Darius Michael Kwok. Sharisa Lafum. Nathaniel Martin Lally. Siobhan Marie Landers. Kay Monet Calvin Langford Oliver. Thank you, Ms. Porto. If you could please step aside for one diploma. Mr. Dominici, please rejoin us. Bradley Abdullah Latonin. Thank you, Mr. Dominici. Ariana Mary Lamone. Leandra O'Neill Lennon. Reagan Pearl Lithway. Logan Caleb Maina. Ronan Winslow Mailing. Braden Joseph Mello. Christian James Messier. Fatima Rosemary Monteroso Recinos. Thank you, Ms. Porto. I'd now like to invite Mr. Chris Frappier to the dais. Matthew Mui. Abigail Elizabeth Nevado. Kyle John Neuendorf. Adam Day Newen. Damon Cam Wynn. Dominic Edward Nicholson. Olivia Noel O'Connell. Joel Antonio Ortiz. Joe Hill Hesbon Otieno. Zoila Concesao Pacheco. Addison Nicole Papagolos. Percy Paige Papagolos. Madeline Nicole Harris. Ryan Shashish Patel. Jonathan Ariel Perez. William Albert Perrine. Maria Jose Recinos Catu. Joseph Ronald Rinaldi. Adrian James Rivera. Janelise Rivera. Janelise Nicole Rivera. Kylie Teresa Robbins. Tyler Joseph Rocchio. Alexia Isabella Rosania. Lorraine Jacques Oliveira. Navaya Ricky Rose. Sophia Gabriela Ruano. Valric Alberto Ruano. Mishayim Sehar. Andrew Vasal Seng. Lucas Josue Sosa. Ashton Maurice Stewart. Kidania Anastasia Abigail Telfer. Hannah Astrid Tews. Carlota Tomasi. David Torres. Clayton Roy Tyler. Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ugukazi. Juliana Yvette Umana. Kristen Michelle Vasquez Trudeau. Jaden William McAloon. Congratulations, House 2. Thank you, Mr. Frappier. At this time, can I please ask Mr. Aaron Bennett to the dais? Also, please welcome Ms. Nicole Lane, our House 3 Assistant Principal, to the lectern for the next group of diplomas.
All right. James Cabral Aguirre. Angad Singh Alawalia. Derek Jael Alarcon Lemus. Ali Hassan Alomari. Bethany Elizabeth Alves. Ariana Rose Amaral. James Thomas Askew. Cole Marcus Bender. Austin David Bowie. Matthew James Brazil. Avery Marie Brown. Jack Thomas Brown. Kylie Ann Browning. Logan Michael Bukoff. Eliana Grace Burns. Layla Noel Butler. Mick Jagger Gonzalez Caesar. Muriel Philippa Chin. Gerard Daniel Cinquegrano. Joshua Patrick Codella. Nicholas Anthony Colella. Logan James Calito. Armani Louis Colon. Noam Isaiah Cook. Jamie Lynn Davies. Mr. Bennett, if you can step aside, please, for one diploma. Mayor DeSimone, if you could please come up to the dais. Taylor Margaret DiCristoforo. Thank you, Mayor DeSimone. Lanaya Talise Dennis. Hayden Owen Desper. Christopher Clyde DeVoe Thompson. Joshua Eric Diddick. Zachary Thomas Diffenderfer. Nathan Allen Drolette. Bailey Pearl Ellis. Nathan Ryan Ellis. Kimberly Kelly Excellent. Ryan Anthony Felisuero. Jessica Lynn Fernandez. Nicholas Garrett Fernandez. Jillian Rose Ferrara. Jordan Daniel Ferreira. Ethan Alexander Garcia. Shamaya Shalia Garden. Lukinson Georges. Owen Wesley Gilbert. Andrew James Gorman. Logan Reed Goslin. Nicholas Donovan Graber. Daniel Joseph Haste. Mr. Bennett, if you could please step aside for one diploma. Mr. Doug Heel, Associate Principal of Attleboro High School, could you please join us on the dais? Noah Douglas Hanlon. Thank you, Mr. Heel. Quinn Emmerich Hayes. Alexis Aldair Henriquez. Stephen Alessandro Henriquez. Dharma Akia Hines. Luke Henry Hinton. Rain Mackenzie Insana. Dylan James Jackson. Dakota Troy James. Andrew Young Jameson. Kaylin Alexandra Jennings. Cy Edward Johnston. James Jake Katashevskis. Shane Michael Kelsey. Aiden Michael Norton Kingsley. Raina Shea Landry. Braden Michael LaPrade. Hunter Allen LeBlond. Braxton Connor Levin. Yutong Lee. Sophia Marie Lynx. Kyle Gunnar Lofton. Haley Sylvia Martin. Drayden Quinn McKenzie. He was not able to attend this evening. Dylan J. Meyerhofer. Tyus David Morse. Anna Grace Morant Gay. Grant Edward O'Connor. Brady John Ogden. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Mr. Storrs, please join us on the dais. Jonathan Michael Pagano. Paul Stephen Parker. Abigail Irene Rodericks. Zachary Thomas Roy. Flojona Fabiola Sannon. Gabrielle Saturn. Corey James Souther. Tiana Latrie Soy. Dylan Antonio Thomas. Michaela Denise Ventura. Travis Arthur Westman, Jr. Congratulations to all the House 3 graduates. I would now like to invite the House 4 Assistant Principal, Mr. Greg Pavlisco, to the lectern for the next group of diplomas.
Arwen Hope Appleton. Kaya Jade Beck. Karis Elizabeth Bird. Bryn Elizabeth Blanchard. Shane Vincent Bradley. Olivia Marie Castro. Sean Joseph Cataloni. Ekin Fu Chow. Cameron Jason Cooper. Christina Elizabeth Copeland. Casey Warren Dudley. Alexander James Durant. John Asher Feely. Zaven Michael Flaherty. Sean Nichols Gallagher. Gerard Godley Jr. Nathan Patrick Gay. Nicholas Allen Hamilton. Matthew John Harvey. James Matthew Burke Hathaway. Jonathan Hersey. Shane Brady Hill. Kelsey Lynn Hodson. Gavin Paul Hoffman. Matthew Gregory Jones, he was not able to attend tonight. Angela Joseph. Brady Alexander Keniston. Patience Amber Labossiniere. Andrew Jason Laguerre. Sana Amelia Lefebvre. Elson Lopes. Jennifer Louise. Ethan Patrick Lyons. Rawan Ali Manoon. Cameron Curtis Marsh. Jake Anthony Mason. Victoria Jane Matthews. Charlie Haynes McLaughlin. Jason Peter Millette. Dennis Emmanuel Milian Alarcon. Cassandra Neve Miranda. Molly Rose Moore. Warren Hugh Jowu Muamba Pleroma. River Callahan Monroe Novak McDonald. David Michael O'Clair. Tavian P. Orr. Logan Richard Oliveira. Madison May Oliveira. Kimberly Elisa Packard Flores. Aiden Alexander Pantages. Morgan Elizabeth Parker. Ariana Marie Perez. Merlane Rita Phillip. Jessica Lynn Phipps. Ian Leonard Pierce. Nolani Tatiana Pulado. Annabelle Marie Quinn. Maya Danielle Rogers. Romario Montiero Romeo. Thomas Jonathan Rumbalski. Tyler Scott Rubrick. Mason Edward Ruprecht. Thank you, Mr. Storrs. I would now like to invite Ms. Diane Sawyer to the dais. Kiera Jasmine Ryan. Anthony Manuel Salguero. Josue Danielle Salguero. Anne Frances Sampson. Jenna Morgan Sankey. Makai Santiago Dame. Inalise Rislene Santo Soto. Hannah Mae Saunders. Melody Ann Margaret Savoy. Alexandra Elaine Sawyer. Heather Rose Sees. Jaden K. Shaw. Nelson Norman Shepard. Brianna Sue Shields. Ethan Albano Silva. Emma May Silva Henningsen. Brady Richards Simnett. Ariana Smieldy. Selena Ari Smith Mells. Alexia Marie Sousa Cabral. James Linwood Strait. Miss Sawyer, if you please step aside for one diploma. Miss Julianne Singer, former school committee member, will join us for one diploma. Benjamin Cody Sullivan. Thank you, Miss Singer. Nicholas Emmanuel Tikas. Audrey Bell Touch. Alexandria Isabel Marie Valencia. Christopher Antonia Villeos. Riley Douglas Veronese. Hayden Xavier Walker. Jessica Rose Weaver. Joseph Eugene Weber. Leah Elizabeth Widener. Skylar Elizabeth Wells. Victoria Grace Westwater. Harry Michael Wheaton. John Allen Wheaton. Brady Nolan Whitmarsh. Sadie Jordan Whitmarsh. Olivia Marie Weiss. Sean Michael Wilcox. Kaylise Ray Williams. Madeline Elise Willis. William Lewis Irach. Romaya Tracy Young. And to bring it home, Kylie Sunghui Zanofsky. Congratulations to House 4. It is now my pleasure to bring Miss Principal Kate Campbell back to the dais for the certification of graduates.
All right, those emotions that I was talking about earlier, I'm feeling them all. I'm so proud of you all. I'm so happy for you. But it's time. You are right, it's time. Mr. Sawyer, based upon the recommendation of the faculty, I stand here before you to present the class of 2024. They are deserving of all the benefits, pleasures, and responsibilities that these diplomas represent, and they await your certification. Mr. Sawyer, please come to the lectern to certify the graduates.
Okay, this is it. Get your caps ready. By the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Attleboro School Committee, I hereby recognize that the diploma recipients here today have met all legal and state requirements. I now declare you graduates of Attleboro High School in the year 2024.
All right, we're not moving just yet, graduates, not just yet. I'm so happy and proud of all of you. Thank you to all the families and friends that came tonight. I am going to ask, because we have a very big group here tonight, we will be recessing out of the stadium to the patio, which is over by the A, our big A. Families, after the graduates leave the field, that's where you can meet your family members and the graduates over on the patio. But we are going to ask that everyone remain seated so we can get all of the graduates off the field. Congratulations, you guys. I'm going to miss you. Love you.
I think